Hi, I'm Craig Holland. I'm the Development Services and CRA Director for the City of Kissimmee, and I'm here to talk to you about reverse angle parking that we have instituted on Church Street. So several years ago, there was a plan to reduce traffic on Broadway, reduce the lanes of traffic on Broadway. And one of the reasons why we were looking at doing that is to increase the parking on Broadway. And the idea was to go from parallel spaces to angled spaces. And at that time it was fairly new, but you saw it cropping up around the country, what's called reverse angled parking or head out angled parking. And that is basically instead of pulling into a space, you back into a space. And here in a little bit I'll tell you kind of the advantages of the head out angled parking. So that project did not move forward, but a businessman on Church Street suggested we try it on Church Street because it was a less used street, slower traffic, and it might be a good way to test the head-out angle parking. So we did an engineering study, determined the angle of the parking and where it would go, and just this last week we instituted it on Church Street. It'll be one block now in front of City Hall, then we'll be moving it down another block next week, just as a test to see how it works. And head-out angle parking, you basically pull past the space and then you back into it so the front of your car sticks out. And this has lots of advantages over traditional head-in angle parking that you see in a lot of smaller downtowns and things like that. First of all, it's the same maneuver, it's just in reverse. The biggest advantage is when you back in, then when you go to leave the space, you pull into traffic instead of backing into moving traffic, and you just look over your left shoulder to see traffic coming instead of trying to crane around and see it as you back into it. Also, if you have bags or boxes or packages, your trunk or hatchback are at the sidewalk. Whether it's loading or unloading, it's much easier than unloading or loading your car in next to a moving traffic lane. Also, when you have children in the car, in standard head-in angled parking, when you open the doors, it creates a funnel that pushes the children out to the traffic. Where here, the doors open and it funnels them to the sidewalk. So it's much safer when you have kids, especially ones that want to run when you get them out of the car. There's also an advantage to anybody that's handicapped or needs assistance with like a walker or a wheelchair. It provides a safer mode to get to the sidewalk than a standard where you would have to basically go out to the traffic lane to maneuver to the sidewalk. So there's several advantages, and like anything new, it is a little foreign, but again, it's easier than parallel parking. It's no more difficult than head-in angle parking, and it is much safer than head-in angle parking. So what we're doing is we're going to be testing this for the 2 blocks on Church Street, and then we'll be doing a survey, probably online, that'll be asking people what they think about it. And also we are kind of seeing if there's any real-world issues that may come up, because we have slightly changed the traffic pattern, and again, it's a new parking situation, so we want to make sure people are not causing anything hazardous by trying to drive through the spaces or park the ways they shouldn't do it. And after a few months we will take a look at this, and if it is working, what we will do is expand it to 2 additional blocks on Church Street, and then we will also seal coat the street and make sure all the old lines are not visible, the new lines are very visible. And this actually will provide, if it does work, about 70 new spaces downtown. And one of the reasons we started this whole thing was there's a constant clamor for more parking downtown, especially on this side of Broadway. We actually have 1 parking garage and 2 parking garages going up on the other side of Broadway, on the lake side of Broadway, but we don't have a lot of opportunities for new parking on this side of Broadway. So this will add 70 new spaces. One of the things we're doing is we're encouraging City Hall employees to park out there, and then we've waived the parking limit to our parking limit, so people are encouraged to park there, at least temporarily.